Tam, you and I got to play Elden Ring Nightreign. This is a new build. It is likely the final preview before release, and we played 2 new classes.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
History with it, I played the first preview and also the network test beta, and generally I'm excited about what it could be.
Yeah.
My whole preview is about, it's a game that kind of forces you to play Elden Ring the wrong way, like in a way that is counterintuitive if you're a long-time Souls player, which is really fascinating to me. But in terms of what we played today, I really enjoyed the new class that I played as. I played as the Ironeye, which is a bow and arrow character and very much a distance-based character, which was fascinating because I didn't have a lot of health.
Yeah.
I was very squishy, which was, I expected him to be more hardy, but it does make sense because it's a higher risk and rewards kind of system. I felt like his kind of cooldowns were a little quicker, and his 2 ultimate abilities are, he fires like a really charged arrow that staggers, kind of like the ones that the trolls kind of fire at you in Elden Ring, which is good for like knocking bosses out of like moves and stuff, stunning that. And then his other ability is like a dash, and he's got a secondary blade, and he will like slash with the blade, which I initially didn't notice he had a blade and was using it. So I was using that the entire time as an evasive maneuver, because if you point in a direction and activate it, he will go into that direction. And then one time I noticed, oh, I've got an actual blade that I'm hitting him with. So I found an extra utility, which obviously is going to be obvious to anyone that plays it. But it gave him a little more versatility, which helped me escape some of the trickier situations.
Well, one thing I liked about your class was you were able to revive people from afar, which I think is super handy. I did play the beta, or the network test. And reviving people, for those who don't know, you have to like run up and smack them. But with the arrow, like I'd be down across the map and a boss would be aggroing and you'd just pop me with arrows and I'd get back up.
It is way better to do it that way. I also felt like in the boss scenarios, the bosses felt like they were targeting me specifically a little more.
You got a lot of heat.
It was instant. Like the moment the boss spawned, like you guys were hitting. We played with Ouroboros as well, well-known creator in the Souls community. And you guys he spawns in, you guys attack him, and he like turns to me and just comes straight at me. I was like, is he like prioritizing distance and like classes that are going to be annoying from a thing? And it definitely felt like that. So I was on edge the entire time, because also it does have that element of like, when you start an attack, you do have to commit to it. You can't, it's very difficult to roll out of the bow and arrow shots. There's like a very limited window at the start where you can do it. But once you have committed to like a shot, even if it's a quick light shot, there's a period of time where you can't like invincibility frame through it. And the boss we were fighting, the Night Lord, which was a nightmare, had like frenzy and madness and all this kind of stuff. We were clearly under level.
I think we did like 20% damage to it, but apparently we were pretty under level. They were trying to get us through that demo.
When that boss attacked me, it had like a multiple swipe attack, and I was just repeatedly getting caught in it because I couldn't get out of it quick enough. Which was interesting up until I started using the evasive move to get out of it. But it was fascinating, and the actual like camaraderie and communication element of it when we were playing together kicked in, and it felt like a much smoother experience this time around. I think they have like ironed out some kinks. I think they jacked up the difficulty a bit as well.
It seemed harder than the network test. And the network test, at least the one I did, you couldn't play with friends. Like you could only play with randos, so there was even less communication. So having that communication, definitely, I was like, okay, I get the appeal to this. But I played as the Raider, which is also new, which is like a berserker, carries a big hammer or a big axe or whatever. And mine was definitely tankier, but it was kind of interesting how you were saying that like the bosses are focusing on you, because I felt like for the most part, like I was able to sneak around the bosses and just hit them with a you know, big heavy jump attack. And that, but it felt good. It felt like, you know, people who like the great sword, the giant great sword, and Elden Ring, probably gonna like this too. I think the more interesting thing with the Raider though were the abilities, because it actually had like an environmental impact. I think one of my ultimates, I like stuck a knife in an enemy and then flipped away, and then this giant obelisk came out of the ground, which I don't remember if they said it made our attack stronger or if it did damage over time on the boss. But there was that one situation where everyone was down and I like stuck the boss with the knife, flipped away, the obelisk came up, and it picked both of you up as well. And it was amazing. It was my favorite moment of that because I was like, oh shit, I just saved us.
I was definitely using, once you did that, I definitely used it as like cover.
Yeah.
So like when the boss was coming, I ran around the other side to like get a little bit of heat off me. And that was really cool as well because got us up and then gave us a space to like get the heat off.
Yeah, to
which was
figure
really,
things
so
out.
like, that kind of like multi-utility synergy moments were really cool. And we had a moment where like me and Ouroboros like at the same time hit an enemy, one of the higher level mini boss enemies, coordinate our ultimates, and it was so satisfying, just like rinsing the health bar. But yeah, it's a game that I'm excited to get some real hours into. Longevity is still the question about it, especially considering that they said they're not treating this like a games as a service title, which is music to my ears. Yeah, but I'm interested to see like how much life it has. Either way, an exciting prospect.
Yeah, we kind of talked about it. Like I think live service from software game anyway. I'm excited they're doing this. Anyway, that's Elden Ring Nightreign. Stay tuned because it comes out later this month and we'll have a review and plenty of coverage. Take it easy.